Hello, welcome to my introductory May tutorial. I'm going to go through a laundry list of buttons I like to press neutral and how I might teach a player new to Guilty Gear or new to fighting games how to start thinking about interacting in a fighting game scenario. So the first thing I want to talk about are sort of ground options. These are ground normal moves. They're the ones I use most frequently, and they're gonna be pretty crucial to the May game. So the first one is 5K. 5K looks like this. It has pretty good range for a 5K. It's fast on startup, the recovery is very fast, it's really hard to punish the whiff of this move. As you get more into the offensive tools, it'll have other properties like being able to cancel into a lot of moves to continue your pressure. It also has a property of being able to be jump canceled. One thing to note is in Guilty Gear you have this concept of retaining momentum on dash. So if you are doing a K, like at round start, it'll whiff, but if you're sort of at the same distance with dash momentum, you can get closer to like hitting them. Another thing to note is May has another move that's 6K. So note that if you want to dash in 5K, you're going to have to return the stick to your 5 position, your 5 neutral position, if you want the 5K to come out. So that is a little bit of an execution nuance that you need to learn. Note that 5K is good on both defense and offense because of how quick it is. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. So if you're thinking about reacting to opponents' dash in, you know, 5K does a pretty good job. Okay, the next move I want to talk about is far slash. Far slash is pressed with the slash button. If you are too close, the close slash will come out, but you don't have to be. It's like you'll be pretty close to them, and far slash will start coming out even on dash. So like far slash starts coming out. It comes out for a while, and this you can use like 5K, kind of good on both defense and offense. Basically the difference you're getting there is far slash is a lot longer than 5K. Far slash doesn't have as many cancel options as 5K. And a lot of times the range you're hitting far slash at, they won't connect. So a lot of times in the closer ranges, like it'll work. So like, let me see, like that works, so that'll work. But yeah, a lot of times you're kind of using far slash as footsies, and so all the normal confirms are gonna whiff. With the exception of like some dolphin. So what far slash will be more useful for is just kind of keeping them out. Note that far slash actually can be jump cancelable. So this is useful that if they're blocking, you can kind of use this as a tool to reset your pressure if you want to jump out of it. Or if you want to just disengage too, the jump cancel will be useful. We'll talk more about that later. The last tool is 2D and 2K. They're maze normals. They're pretty fast. 2D, I use 2D way more than 2K, but 2K is like a nice quick jab. But 2D is great because it's only 1 frame slower than 2K, and it's active for a long time, and it's pretty safe on block. So when you start to get comfortable with just charging into people, charge up 2D, run up 2D, perfectly great. It's a pretty strong tool. 2D is also good on kind of these defensive reactive maneuvers. Again, we can show Mei running. Just because if an opponent's running at you, they by definition can't be holding down block. And also a lot of moves that people want to run into you with are high moves. So you're kind of moving your hurt box to avoid a lot of those moves. Also, 2D is a sweep, so it grants you knockdown, which we can talk more about why that's valuable and what to do out of knocking your opponents down. But basically, it allows you to restart your pressure, so then I can go in and do stuff on wake up. Yeah, so I would say that those are 3 moves that I would prioritize getting comfortable with. Get comfortable with kind of dashing in, or kind of just pressing them, getting used to their range, moving forward at different ranges, maybe jumping around and then trying a range, backdashing. Like I would kind of experiment. You can. I'm using a trading mode bot, but you can just play with people or play against the computer. And when the computer gets into that range, you can just hit that, trying to react to their approaches. I think that's a good way to get used to those moves. The next set of moves I wanted to talk about are Mei's special. Her special moves, she has 3 main special moves. The first is what you're going to use most commonly, which is her dolphin. So this is a charge input, so you're going to have to hold back or down back, and then forward, and then S, or forward or H. In general, in neutral, you're using the forward S button. It's good to know what the range of S is. Even if you're just out, you can kind of use it as a way to move yourself forward on whiff and then kind of continue, because most opponents are thinking that it's going to be in range, and so they're going to be blocking for a little too long, and you can kind of reset your pressure. But in general, you're using it. You basically can use it in offense, neutral, or defense. It's a pretty versatile tool. For example, if Mei's coming in like this, or let me do this. If Mei's doing, what should Mei do? Let's do this. No, let's have Mei do this. No, it didn't quite get it. Alright, so Mei's doing this sequence. Yeah. So basically, like when someone's kind of wailing at you, and you're already holding block because you're holding the down charge or the back charge because you're blocking. The startup on horizontal dolphin is so quick that you can kind of use it to interrupt. Oops, I did the wrong dolphin. You can kind of use it to interrupt a reset in pressure. And this is a very common way for made players to get out of pressure. So the way you do this is kind of just wait for a gap in your opponent's pressure when they've stopped attacking, and then press forward and slash. Dolphin's also pretty good to use in neutral, so if you're kind of just hopping around and May's moving forward, or your opponent's moving forward, you can kind of just force this, throw out a horizontal dolphin, and it'll beat in a lot of slower pokes and dash-ins. The next special move I want to talk about is the ball. There are two forms of the ball. There's H ball, this is P ball, and there's K ball. I usually just use P ball for two reasons. One is the arc is steeper, but because it moves so slowly vertically, you kind of just want to maximize the usage of it controlling any sort of amount of space it has anyways. That and the recovery is faster. So it's harder for them to punish, and you can get your pressure started a little bit earlier because P-ball has faster recovery. I rarely see players use the K-ball. In the spectrum of zoning projectiles, P-ball is hard to use in general because most of the fighting occurs on the ground, and the space that P-ball covers is wonky, is really high. It doesn't really hit the ground until very late, and Guilty Gear characters move so fast it's very difficult to sort of use it properly or use it to maximize its value. So I try not to use it in raw neutral. If they're really far away, and depending on the matchup, they don't have a lot of tools to like attack me on the ground very fast, I'll throw a P-ball to kind of give me some cover. So then, as it's coming down, I'll go, or maybe I will set the ball and start like jumping with it. But even then, it's like it's sort of hard. It's a little bit more. The other usage is to do it when you are resetting pressure or off a knockdown. So it's a lot safer to throw a beach ball in these scenarios because you have the advantage. So you can sort of throw a hit in, or they're really far away. Practice canceling in it. You sort of need to make the decision ahead of time if you want to cancel into a special. So for example, if you're far away, you kind of already have to have the quarter circle motion back prepped. And then so the moment it hits, I'm pressing P to sort of sort of to get that special cancel out of the far slash. The next move is May's other special move, Hoop, or Dolphin Set. I'll call it Hoop because it helps disambiguate between the move where she kind of goes on the Dolphin directly. So Hoop is sort of like the terminology we use for Dolphin Set. Both of May's kind of projectiles, Ball and Dolphin, are really hard to control raw neutral space relative to other characters' special moves in Guilty Gear. But similar to the Ball, you can kind of use them. They're basically a lot safer to use in situations where you have pressure. So if you're sort of in the process, or they're sort of blocking, they're kind of stuck blocking, you have to kind of throw out a Dolphin to sort of, you can sort of throw out a Hoop to sort of get things started. Or if you successfully, for example, knock them down, you can kind of throw a Hoop. But once they're set, you know, or maybe again, like in neutral, you're far away and they're kind of acting more passively, maybe you can find time to set a Hoop. I'm not going to go into nuances of which Dolphin you should set. In general, I find the P Hoop the most useful. On knockdown, the K Hoop is really useful, and in far instances, I use H sometimes. It catches people who want to jump forward or instant air dash at me. One execution thing I want to talk about is getting used to holding your charge inputs. So Dolphin's going to be a very important part of your game as a May player, and so you're going to need to know how to incorporate charge. So in neutral, if you want to play sort of reactively, because they've sort of created, one good tactic is to just wait and hold down back, or you can hold back. Down back is nice because you don't have to worry about misspacing things. You can counterattack a little bit. You're stable because you're not moving and they're moving, and you have a good idea of when they're going to be in range of a move. So kind of get used to them coming in. You might want to try some other moves first, but then also try dolphining them once you see them move forward. You can practice this with just some setup of a training dummy moving forward, doing a simple string, or you can do this in the computer just playing casuals. So you can just, whenever you're just being static, you can just practice holding down back, maybe move back a little, and your charge will always be put. Be ready for a Dolphin. So that's kind of holding charge in neutral. Also know that as long as you can also be doing other things besides. Another thing is you can be kind of jumping defensively, so you can kind of be jumping backwards, then crouching, and then holding forward S, and then it's getting used to making it second nature to look for opportunities to hold charge is what it's about. The trickier part of holding charge is during pressure and combos. Basically, the concept here is know that whenever you move forward, you're gonna have to move forward to either be on offense or yeah, you're gonna have to be on offense or jump in or dash in to hit the opponent and chase them after they've gotten a hit. So you're gonna have to move forward, and you're not gonna be able to charge at that point. So how do you get charged to make sure it's it's ready for when you need it? So basically, you have to look for ways to buffer your charge through your offense. The two ways to do this is basically through your jump and through doing moves. So let's talk about doing it on a jump. So let's say I want to hit them with a JS and then dolphin. So you have to get used to this input. As soon as the forward jump comes out, you have to be holding back. So luckily you can see my input screen. You can see that as soon as I've hit jump, I'm holding back. And then as soon as I land, forward disc comes out and the dolphin comes out, and you can see the combo registers as a real combo. The second way you can start buffering your charge is through actual moves. So here I'm going to run in, and during the sequence of I'll do like 5K, close slash, 2D, and then dolphin. So I'll run up. Let's see. Oops. So that's what it looks like. So whenever you want to do a standing move, your 5 position is you're actually going to be holding 4, and anything that you would hold in the 2 position, you can start holding in the 1 position. And that's how you kind of hide your charge buffer within pressure. There's no downside to holding charge buffer in most cases, so you can learn to just start doing this subconsciously as a good habit. Also note that just because you're charging doesn't mean that, in the sense that there's no downside, regardless of whether or not they block or you change your mind, you can kind of just always start moving forward and not worrying about using the charge. Although sometimes you'll forget and you're like, oh, I wanted to move forward in close slash, and then, but don't. For the most part, don't worry about it.